who's next? You're next! Next, that is, to be wearing a brand new Talking Taker Take Her Easy t-shirt. That's right, folks. This weekend, The Undertaker returns to the ring for the first time in 2019 for a first ever, never thought you'd see it matchup between himself and Goldberg. And to celebrate, we're updating our Talking Taker Take Her Easy t-shirt because, when we started this show, we thought The Undertaker's career was done. Maybe he'd wrestled in 2018, we didn't know. So our graphic on the shirt reflects that, and now we've updated it to update the fact that The Undertaker is competing in 2019, and who knows, maybe beyond. So head on over to tpublic.com, search for Talking Taker, you can pick up a Take Her Easy shirt, you can get it in multiple different colors, multiple different colored fonts on the front of it as well. We've got stickers, we've got mugs, you've got all this different stuff you can get the merch on. Of course, the tank tops, you can throw the sleeves down and show everybody you mean business. You can also follow the link on any of our social media profiles to pick up the shirt there as well and do a little bit in supporting our podcast. Thanks again for listening and enjoy this week's episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the WWE's favorite band in the whole world, Limp Bizkit!
Alright, WrestleMania. Get the hell up. You know what time it is. It's time to keep on rolling, baby. You people ready for WrestleMania? Limp Bizkit's in the house. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Alright, creatures of the night, welcome to episode 95 of Talking Taker, our encyclopedic exploration digging up the career of the greatest professional wrestler of all time. My name is Alex Dorio, mate, and I want to thank you for joining us for yet another round of Dead Man Talking. I am joined, as always, by my tag team partner, my wrestling buddy, my fellow creature, Aussie, oi, 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 Travis White. How you doing there, mate?
Good day, mate. How's it going?
Oh, think I...
Waiting for beer.
Hey, no rules, just right.
Blue and onion.
Oh,
You're welcome. I just ruined it.
you did. You killed it. You killed it, dude. I don't think I can do it all episode.
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy. Good night. Well,
Anyway.
folks, if you hadn't tell already, this is our Down Under episode. Well, not really. We have a real Down Under episode we'll be doing eventually, the Super Showdown, but we're talking tonight about the greatest Australian wrestler who never was, Nathan Jones, teaming up with The Undertaker. Yes, that's right, folks. That is a thing that really tragically happened at WrestleMania in a tag team match against the Big Show and the A-Train. Arguably the most insulting thing The Undertaker has ever had to deal with in his entire career, especially his WrestleMania run. Travis, I mean, what are we doing here?
I don't know, man. I don't have an explanation for any of this. It doesn't make any sense. We're going to break it down and talk about it, but I just realized there's 3 guys in this match, or they're all named The Undertaker, The A-Train, The Big Show.
The Big Show.
Maybe that's why Nathan Jones got dropped. He wasn't The Nathan Jones.
No, they needed...
He was the Colossus of Boggo Road.
Oh, God. They needed the Brian Kendrick to come in here.
Exactly. That would have been a godsend. Oh, man.
Well, folks, we are going to dive all the way into this. We're going to explore who Nathan Jones is, why this match happened, or perhaps why it did not happen, and all of the crazy twists and turns that lead to a confusing handicap match, question mark? Is it really or was it really a tag match?
Nah.
I have some questions about that here as we get into it. But we've got the road to WrestleMania that we're going to cover. And, you know, we loved talking about stuff from No Way Out 2003 last week.
Oh, yeah.
All of the crazy gifts this Big Show gave to The Undertaker. Well, this is some coal in the stocking stuff that we're going to be talking about on the road to WrestleMania 19 here as we take the old time traveling motorcycle, jump in the sidecar right next to Nathan Jones, and drive all the way back to February.
Push him out.
Push him on the road.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, I think he's going to boomerang right back into the motorcycle. Yeah. We can't avoid him. We can't escape him here. SmackDown 184, February 27th, 2003, the Thursday after No Way Out, and The Undertaker just defeated the Big Show and debuted his big new triangle chokehold move at that pay-per-view. But unfortunately was assaulted by the A-Train there at the end of things, so we're kind of got an idea of where we're headed going into WrestleMania as The Undertaker rolls out for his promo time. And the announcers are putting over his big win over Big Show and his constantly evolving move set. And The Undertaker, he's moving on to the next thing, man. He's getting right to business, talking about the A-Train, wanting his attention on Sunday night and getting it. And so the emotional freight train tells the A-Train that it's time to fight, baby. Time to shut up and fight. That's
exactly.
New catchphrase.
Shut up and fight.
Sadly, that did not make it onto a T-shirt yet. Oh no,
Right.
Still might work on that.
He could have told Goldberg that right? At Jeddah. Maybe they'll make a T-shirt of it.
Ooh, Saudi Arabian only.
Yes.
Well, the A-Train obliges, but he's got Paul Heyman behind him now, the man who's been trying to take out the Undertaker for months now.
Yeah, you know, I didn't realize how much this is a story of Heyman and his cronies, like it was, who was it? DiBiase and all his cronies back in the day with the early Undertaker, you know? All the guys he had. And then, just it reminds me of the Heenan family, you know? It's crazy.
It's really, I mean, I don't want to say subtle, but it's kind of undersold by the announcers.
Exactly.
They don't put it over enough, but there's definitely that through line there, which is really cool considering their history that we talked about, you know, back on our WCW episode and where things are going to go in the future between Paul Heyman and The Undertaker. It's kind of his greatest rival in a sense.
It's weird. Like you said, it's undersold, I guess is the right way to put it. So.
And also undersold too, we both had this in our notes, man. We forgot how stacked Heyman's roster was at this time. You know, he was managing A-Train, you know, they're at the bottom of the barrel, but he also had Team Angle, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. He had The Big Show, and he had Kurt Angle, of course. That's a pretty massive stable, not just in weight, but also just talent and credibility there.
Those are all the top heels on SmackDown, and that's it. Like, those are the top guys. Like I said, very reminiscent of the Heenan family to me. People always compare Heyman and Heenan. I didn't realize how similar it was until this, you know, putting this under a microscope and really looking at it just in and of itself. So, really cool, really cool.
Well, Heyman's going to bring out his partner, The Big Show, here, and he's still selling his neck from Sunday night from that triangle chokehold. And Heyman and the Giants are going to circle the ring as The Undertaker he's shut up and he's ready to fight. He's not showing an ounce of fear out here, as we would expect. He goes after these guys as they come into the ring, and he's able to hold his own there for a little bit. But, of course, the Giants overpower him, clobbering him from behind, and A-Train even hits a Vader bomb there. Big Show's going to grab a chair, but g'day, mate. It's Nathan Jones in there with the save, and he does some, I will say, quote-unquote, martial arts to scare off the A-Train. He does about 4 roundhouse kicks that don't connect. I don't know if they were supposed to connect or if he was just supposed to, like, intimidate him.
Yeah.
Like he's doing a Steve Blackman martial arts show or something, but he does not hit A-Train at all, and so A-Train just, like, dips out of the ring. It's I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, I think they were missed on purpose because they weren't unsure if he was going to kick someone's head off or not. But yeah, he's just scaring people away with his ballerina moves, basically. He's just doing spin kicks with his leg in the air. So,
and as we're going to see, that's pretty much the extent of his moveset at this point, is this little roundhouse kick that he tries to do here. But it's enough to save the Undertaker. I can't believe we're saying that. Nathan Jones saving the Undertaker. And just again to put over who Nathan Jones is. This is an Australian guy who spent time in prison. That was his big thing. I guess he was for a shoot. I guess he was famous in Australia. I think he played sports in Australia. Am I right? He played some sort of rugby or football or something. He's a massive beast of a man, very Goldberg-esque looking, just a great physical specimen, and he was the next big thing in the WWE's eyes after Brock Lesnar. This was their next big project, and they liked him so much. I mean, they were shooting him through the ranks really without even doing much with him in developmental. I mean, he was just shooting him right up there for a WrestleMania appearance. They were crazy high on him, and so high that they're going to put him with a guy like The Undertaker. And it's like the classic type of guy that they have seen and fell in love with and whiffed on for years now. Like, I mean, he is right in the mold of a Snitsky or a Heidenreich. I mean, even an A-Train. Up to this day, like a Lars Sullivan type guy. I mean, they keep seeing this guy keep pushing him, and it keeps flopping. 9 times out of 10, and this is the biggest one of all, perhaps.
You're right, man. And the only one who's lasted, and his booking has been terrible, but who was in development for a cup of coffee is Braun Strowman. He literally had like 3 matches in NXT, and he got put on the main roster and shot to the moon. And like I said, they fumbled the ball quite a bit with him, but he's still going. He's the only one that's like, I don't know, been able to make it through the poop, I guess. But yeah, you're right. They fumble so much with these guys. They just push them too hard, too fast, and they suck. So that's a good and bad of it.
He is certainly the rare exception, but he's definitely in that mold as well.
Oh yeah,
I would say.
It's that good nickname that Nathan Jones has that didn't stick. I think the Colossus of Bago Road.
Oh, Michael Cole loves this nickname. If you think hearing him talk about Boss Time or the Big Dog in 2019 is bad, wait until you listen to him try to put this over 4 times every time Nathan Jones walks out.
Nathan Jones in A-Train, thinking better of it, will wait for another day to confront the Colossus of Bago Road.
It's terrible.
What was not terrible, though, on this episode of SmackDown is we see really the true rise of a guy we've talked about and that we're going to talk about is John Cena. And we talked about
I thought you meant Rhino makes his return tonight.
I was going to get to that.
I'm just kidding.
I know you had that in your notes, and I was going to put over just how crazy it is that he's one of the guys still left standing that we're talking about here, 2003 and in 2019. Rhino still around on the roster, and he plays a big role in this episode of SmackDown. I think that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy, but I didn't mean to cut you. I did mean to cut you off. I was just joking. But yeah, go ahead about John Cena. Yeah, because he's a guy who took the ball and ran with it.
Well, I just want to mention this is the episode where we start to see the backstage or pre-taped rap promos with him that he starts cutting on Brock Lesnar, where he really made himself famous as he's recovering from injury.
Oh, yeah.
Really became a star off these promos. And this one that airs on this SmackDown is where he says a line about using the FU in response to Lesnar's F5, and it was just kind of a joke line in one of these raps, and then it actually became his finisher for the next 16 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Wild.
It is crazy, man. A lot of people don't know where that. Well, a lot of kids nowadays know it as the attitude adjustment, but before that it was called the FU. So that's not PG nowadays, but yeah. So yeah, I remember this promo like it was yesterday, man. I remember being like, "Ooh, he said FU." Back in the day. Anyway, well, yeah, big episode of SmackDown there. Not really for Taker, just got the Colossus of Bago Road coming to his help. But when he comes and saves him, he doesn't seem to mind the help there. We don't know the story about what's going on here yet, but we're going to get to that in a second here. But
and they had teased it a little bit last week, and we talked about it. Nathan Jones promo, he teased wanting to get in the ring with the big dog. I didn't mention him by name, but we all know back then that the big dog in the yard was The Undertaker. So
right,
there's something going on there.
Something boiling down Boggle Road. I'm trying to say as much as Michael Cole did. So, well, that brings us to the next week, SmackDown 185, and this is March 6th of 03. So, after we get this very intense exchange between Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon for their match at WrestleMania 19, I believe there was some flub lines in here, wasn't there? I couldn't find it on YouTube.
Oh, it's not that hard to find.
If you actually think I was just the right guy at the right place at the right time, let me say it one more time so you completely understand, McMahon. If you actually believe in your mind, if you actually think that I was just the right guy.
So, I couldn't remember what to actually Google, but I was just looking for something. But yeah, this promo is bad. So
not Hogan's best moment.
No, not at all. But
that would be when he was dragged around on Undertaker's bike back in 2002. That was his best moment.
Yes, exactly. Well, after that wonderful flop of a promo, we see this graphic for Taker versus A-Train tonight. So, and then in the graphic, we got Taker. Taker has Nathan Jones, which the way he looks at the camera, he looks like the Red Skull without paint on his face. Like, he looks very Red Skullish, and of course, Big Show is pictured with A-Train there. So. Again, anytime I can bring it to a comic book, I like to do that. So here's but he just like they could have picked him because he became a movie actor after this. So they could have picked him to be the Red Skull. So anyway, we see a clip from earlier tonight where Nathan Jones is. It's like before all the crowd gets in there and it's dimly lit in the middle of the ring, and we get Nathan Jones hip tossing some jobbers, and Taker is like coaching him, and I'm not sure if Taker is trying out for a season of Tough Enough to be a coach or not, but he's definitely coaching this Boggo Road Colossus here. So tells him to keep up the intensity, and Nathan Jones is shoulder blocking these guys, and it's I don't know, it's weird, man. How do you feel about this particular scene here?
It is weird because it almost sounds like they're mic'd up here, and there is some of the crowd in there. Like the arena's half full. Like they must have shot this at like 7 o'clock, like an hour before the show, because there are still people trickling in, and they try to make it look real. Which I know they do this before the shows. I've been in there early and with a friend who worked in the arena and kind of spied on some of the guys as they were doing this a few years ago, but. Yeah, it felt like to me, it made me wish I wanted to see Undertaker as a coach on Tough Enough. Like, that's a season I need to see here. But, it's strange that they're putting over this guy as learning how to wrestle here on SmackDown, on the main roster. It's just like, it's a weird vibe.
It is. It's really weird. That's the thing that it threw me for a loop. I was like, wait a minute. We're watching a guy learn how to wrestle on the roster. Like, he's just skipping developmental. It's just so weird. Like, nowadays, if this happened, this guy would have been stamped as a failure from the second they saw that, because fans wouldn't buy that. But because they always hate anybody who's green anyway. But anyway, it was just really weird. But anyway, Nathan Jones thanks Taker he's like, thank you for following through with your promise and training me after my prison sentence. So does that mean that at some point Taker was down under, saw this guy in jail, and said, hey, pal, when you get out, I'll train you? Like,
they're implying there's some sort of history between these guys. Yes.
Yeah, so we don't know. It's they don't tell us really more of the backstory. That's pretty much it. So, but Taker's like, I'm a man of my word.
Do they get Make-A-Wish visits in prison? Is that what Taker does?
Maybe he does. Maybe he does.
I didn't know that.
I'm sure Nathan Jones asked for somebody else, of the female kind, but they sent Taker instead, I guess, to make his wish come true when he got out. So, anyway, but Taker does tell him, he says, the wrestling ring's like a prison cell.
It's a nice job, all right? Thanks, Taker. Thanks for following through with your promise to train me after I got out of prison. Look, I'm a man of my word, all right? Listen, but I see what you got to remember. The wrestling ring is just like a prison cell, all right? You got to put your time in, and you got to make sacrifices. I will do it. Well, if I didn't think you couldn't do it, we wouldn't be here. All right?
He's trying, man.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah, it is.
I guess.
So, he's like, if I didn't think you couldn't do it, you wouldn't be here. And then Taker shows him how to do a collar and elbow tie up, a headlock and a shoulder block, and then he makes Nathan Jones do it with his jobbers, but he can't knock the guys down, and Taker's yelling at him like, get it, hit him harder, get it, and Jones can't really do it well, and then all of a sudden he just kind of like snaps and starts choking this dude. And I don't know if that was supposed to be his gimmick they're going to give him, like almost like a Festus type thing, the bell rings and he goes crazy. But he starts going nuts on this guy, and Taker has to pull him off, basically. He's like, I like your intensity, but that's enough for today. And, I guess he's going to go, I don't know, show him how to, use that intensity in a good way. I have no idea, but it's just weird
Channel
watching
that
him
energy.
train. Yeah, be trained before WrestleMania, a month before WrestleMania. So, weird.
Yeah, it's really tough. I think you sort of mentioned it, to throw Nathan Jones into this role as a babyface,
Yes,
because
exactly.
like you're asking the fans to accept this guy at a very high level in a tag team with The Undertaker and cheer for this guy debuting at WrestleMania as if he's good enough there. And wrestling fans in general, we don't like that. We don't like to be told that, if there's a babyface, we want to see them rise up, or see them do some really cool moves, and see them come up from the bottom and take that journey up to the top. You can do this with a heel, I think. You can have them come in out of nowhere and be like, oh my
Fandango.
God. Fandango debuted at WrestleMania, his very first match, and it's like, oh, that's instant heat right there.
Yeah.
Wanting to
he got over because he had a character, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But look at even Ronda Rousey, who came in this year. Is like a good parallel, I think, to Nathan Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a million times more talented than Nathan Jones. But the fans turned on her, too. And she was awesome. I thought she did a great job as a babyface and as a heel. But the fans still resented her for being shoved down their face. And Nathan Jones was inevitably going to get that no matter what, because he was getting a spot that he didn't earn, and we're watching him not really earn it right before our eyes in the storyline too. It's very, very odd. The only guy I could think of that didn't really get that was sort of like a Rey Mysterio, because I think he was already established enough, but he came in and they threw him into top stuff immediately. But he's so awesome that you didn't care. You could get into him no matter what, even if you hadn't ever seen him before.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, exactly. That's a great parallel to him and Ronda Rousey, and one that got it and one that didn't, and one that's going to take his ball and go home.
Yep.
So yeah, later on we get Taker enter into his music, and he's flanked by what I'm going to call the human charisma vacuum from Bago Road. That's Nathan Jones, and then so that fits well on a t-shirt. So commentary talk about how Taker's apparently his mentor now, and he's been training him and stuff. So, and then A-Train comes out with, I don't even know, he's wearing like a towel with a hole cut in the middle over his head and a beanie.
He looks homeless, man.
He looks like he's almost the hip-hop hippo still, but he's kind of this cool A-Train guy. Like he looks like a homeless dude. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, it shouldn't be wrestling. So
I can't believe he made it through Gorilla with this on.
Right.
It is not intimidating. It just looks dumb. That's my whole criticism of A-Train all the time.
Oh yeah, it looks like a mid-90s action movie, like Punk, like bad guy, you know, or like a bad guy in like a G.I. Joe cartoon. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Or one of those generic guys you fight in like the Ninja Turtle side-scrolling arcade game, or like Spider-Man. Yeah,
perfect description.
They keep coming in from the right side of the screen. They all look the same.
They didn't spend a lot of time working on their character design.
Yeah, exactly. He looks terrible, basically. Well, the match is what it is, and obviously Big Show's going to interfere. Nathan Jones is the equalizer, though. Here, he's going to set the record straight, I guess, and make things even. And getting frustrated by these heel shenanigans on the outside, old Bago Colossus is. And Taker locks in the triangle choke after a really awkward spot with A-Train. It's like A-Train does, was it the derailer he hit on him or a powerbomb or something? And then he kind of just like sits there, and the referee doesn't really count. He's like waiting for the spot to go in the triangle hole, but he doesn't count the shoulders down, but he's supposed to. And it makes A-Train look like a fool. But Taker does hit the triangle choke there, and Big Show knows how it feels, so he interferes and, to get his friend out of the triangle choke. And Nathan Jones interferes, and the ref just throws the match out. And couldn't have come a second too sooner. But then Taker and Nathan Jones double close on Big Show, and the heels retreat, and they basically already got one up on the bad guys. So it's like, what am I paying to see at this point?
Oh yeah.
So
and there's gonna be a lot of that here in this build-up too.
Yeah. So and then commentary talk about how Nathan Jones is a ticking time bomb ready to explode, and that's their little thing they're trying to get over. And he does explode in about November, and he stays home. And
it's gonna be a bit of a dud.
Yeah.
Well, that keeps the train rolling to SmackDown 186, March 13th, 2003. And Travis, and we've covered a lot of dumb stuff on this podcast. We've covered a lot of...
Sure, without question.
A lot of stupidity, a lot of logic gaps and plot holes and things like that. This next segment is going to be right up there as a nominee for one of the dumbest backstage segments we have ever covered in 95 episodes.
Oh, it's one of the dumbest things on human television of all time.
It's an underrated, stupid segment here.
Yeah.
It starts off dumb because Big Evil, he's walking backstage, and, he does what he tends to do. He's talking to the local talent backstage, the arena crew, making friends with them, giving them jobs, giving them opportunities. He asks this PA backstage if he's seen Nathan Jones, and the kid's like, no, I haven't seen him. So Taker says, all right, just let me know if you see him. Undertaker then literally takes 2 steps down the hallway. He doesn't go around a corner or anything like that. He just walks to the next door across the hall from this kid, and the door's open, and Undertaker looks inside, and guess who's sitting right there?
Oh, crikey, mate. Who is it?
The Colossus from Bongo Road.
Dang.
A Colossus, a giant Australian psychopath.
Oh.
And this kid apparently had no idea it was right there.
All right.
So Taker walks in, and Nathan Jones is like Mankind. He's like rocking back and forth in there like psychopath or whatever. And Taker's like, what's up, dude? And Nathan explains that after 10 years in solitary confinement, I've learned to appreciate those moments of peace and quiet. And Undertaker's just like, okay then. And he's got nothing.
It's like, all right. Respect that.
So he tells Nathan Jones, all right, it's time for us to go watch Big Show and A-Train's match tonight, since, we're facing them at WrestleMania. It's official.
Right.
We're getting a tag team match at WrestleMania. Undertaker and Nathan Jones against Big Show and A-Train. And then Nathan Jones, and something so stupid that even Michael Cole at his worst would have been flabbergasted by this. I mean, this is Michael Cole plus Mark Lloyd plus Josh Matthews plus Lucas from WWE.com stupidity level.
Oh, that's a bad equation right there.
This is a question none of them would have even asked. Nathan Jones asked The Undertaker,
If we have them at WrestleMania, why do you have to watch them now?
Oh, my word. What a stupid idiot.
I mean, not only... it's like, have you not even seen wrestling? Have you never even seen sports in general?
Right.
Do you not understand the concept of preparing?
Athletic competition? Yeah. It's like, oh, well, the Braves are going to face the Red Sox, so we shouldn't watch any tape of them, or who they put in their bullpen, or what their lineup is, or, we got the Patriots taking on the Dolphins. Let's not watch the tape and review it. Like, any sport, rugby, I guarantee you, down under, they watch tape of their opponents before the match. So
how about,
it's just like,
oh, I have a test coming up. Should I study? No, that test's in 3 weeks. Why would I need to study?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't just apply to athletic competition. It applies to just your knowledge, just brain. Just,
hey,
I'm
getting
getting this new job. Why should I train? I'll just give me the keys. I'm gonna get my driver's license. Do you know how to drive? Who cares? I'll learn.
I'm moving to America in 3 weeks. Should I look up anything about the country? No way, man. I'll be there. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, what an idiot. This was the stupidest thing. Like, it made me angry that this guy's still on television after this. Why? How did that scene make it to television? This is taped on Tuesday.
That doesn't make Nathan Jones a psychopath. It makes him mentally incapable of understanding things.
Yeah.
Oh, but Undertaker is very patient with him. He explains, well, this way we'll be able to strategize for these guys and know their tendencies. Again, like Nathan Jones is an alien from another planet who does not understand these things. So,
yeah. That's like a question my son would ask me if he's playing T-ball. I was like, oh, I don't want to practice. I'm like, well, we need to know what the other team's going to do, or something like that. Like, talk to a small child like that, not an adult human colossus from Boggle Road.
Not even your 5-year-old child. Maybe your 2-year-old child.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly.
Well, they do get to watch this big tag team tune-up match that we're going to see from Big Show and A-Train as they're going to go up against Kai and Tai 2.0, a.k.a. Funaki and Tajiri. That's a heck of a tag team right there.
It is, man.
Dude,
what do you think we should call the Big Show and A-Train's tag team?
I would submit the world's hairiest tag team for these two guys. Big Show's chest is looking just about as hairy as A-Train's at this point.
It does. We can call him Big Train or A-Show.
Yeah, it works too.
I like the world's hairiest tag team.
All right. Well, we'll go with that as we even get to see Funaki and Tajiri prepping backstage. As a funny little vignette.
When the Japanese guys do a better promo than the guy that speaks English, you know it's bad.
You know it's bad, dude. Funaki underrated, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can kind of guess how this match is gonna go here. Big Show and A-Train are obviously gonna dominate these guys. The announcers are noting that Tajiri and Funaki combined don't even weigh as much as the Big Show, which is kind of wild to think about. I know it's probably not true, but maybe it is true. I don't know.
It's close. It probably was.
Show hits this giant chop on Funaki as Taz says, "That's like getting hit in the chest with a wok." And I was like, wait a second. Who's ever hit anyone with a wok?
He's going to throw out these most stereotypical Asian comments he can here, dude.
Yeah, it's would not fly in 2003. He keeps talking about Godzilla and says when they lose, Taz's like, oh, no more beef teriyaki tonight for Funaki. Bro, paint it in there, buddy.
Yeah. I didn't feel bad about thinking that this was, kind of reminiscent of that new Godzilla movie because Taz was so on the nose with it. I was going to make a comment about how it's like Godzilla King of Monsters, but Taz beat me to it, man. He was just all over it. Yeah.
Well,
get hit in the chest with a wok. Was he trying to say rock?
No, he was trying to say wok. Was he like Chris Canyon from last week?
In the chest with a wok.
Do you really wanna hood?
With a wok.
With a wok. Well, anyway, we do get a nice callback from the Big Show as he takes a page from his mentor, The Undertaker's book, and does something that Taker used to do when they tag teamed together. And Big Show goes and hangs out at commentary during this match and lets A-Train wrestle. That was a nice little connective thread there. I appreciate it.
It was. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that but
us. Probably not.
Yeah,
but that's neat. What you get here on this show.
Exactly.
Well, they take care of business. A-Train hits the train wreck on Funaki, and they get the big win there, get the momentum heading into WrestleMania. And it made them look like giants, which is what it's all about. Nothing wrong with that here. And just another quick Undertaker thread here on this show. The main event on this episode of SmackDown is Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar 3 weeks before they're supposed to fight at WrestleMania. And if you were watching at the time, you'll remember there's a lot of rumors going around about whether Kurt Angle was going to make it to WrestleMania. He was having problems with his neck beforehand, and they thought he wasn't going to be able to make it to the match, so they were going to hotshot the belt to Brock Lesnar here. There were all sorts of rumors about maybe they were going to have John Cena fill in against Brock at Mania, maybe Chris Benoit. I think Undertaker, maybe they could have slotted him in there, got him away from Nathan Jones, but of course they do the great redo of a finish we first saw at Survivor Series 2000 by having Kurt Angle's brother Eric switch places with Kurt here and allow Kurt to get a quick victory on Brock Lesnar, and they just I mean, that was one of the best swerves ever, man. They got everybody with that one because we were all sure there was no way Kurt was going to make it to Mania. So, and I just think it's interesting that they did that finish with Undertaker first.
Yeah, it was, because I wouldn't have remembered that unless we had gone, doing what we're doing here, dissecting everything. But I remember not reading the spoilers for this SmackDown because I wanted to know. I didn't want to know what they were going to do. I wanted to see it live that night. So, yeah, they got me, man. They had me. I was like, golly. So they did it so well. Yeah,
really
cool.
well done. The complete opposite of this.
Oh, the complete opposite of this WrestleMania match and also this next SmackDown. So we're going to get SmackDown 187, which is cop code for homicide, which might as well be what this episode is. So
they're about to kill the crowd right here.
Talking about killing the town. We got March 20th, 2003. We're going to get Taker versus Billy Demott.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
I feel like we conjured this match to happen to us because of how much we've bashed Bill DeMott the past few weeks. We've somehow cursed ourselves with having to actually cover Undertaker versus Bill DeMott. I had no idea.
I did not know we were going to touch on this guy in a singles match with Taker, but we are here, yeah.
No laughing matter.
It is no laughing matter at all. I'm cackling here, but it is no laughing matter. So Cole, in his infinite wisdom, is like, I think Taker's going to have his hands full here. I don't think he's ever seen Bill DeMott. So, the guy that wrestled Rikishi in a best of 10 series. So.
He did defeat him once or twice, Yeah,
he did. So the only good thing about this match is Taker showing off some new, innovative, MMA style moves. He does a rolling knee bar to him, which is kind of neat, and commentary points that out. And we see Nathan Jones watching this match backstage on the Tron. So he's, I guess, Taker's pep talk last week. Helped him out to, I guess I will pay attention to matches. So
a great idea there, Mike.
Yeah, a novel idea. So big Bill DeMott does hit a spine buster, though, and it's a belly-to-belly, which is kind of neat to see him actually get some offense on Taker. So good for him. But it's no match for the chokeslam and the tombstone. So this match is over.
Bust out a tombstone on DeMott.
Yeah, had to bring out the big guns to put down old Bill.
Well, Bill DeMott does have one up on Undertaker because he did hold the U.S. title back in the day. And we've talked about, that's the one title that eluded Undertaker all these years.
It's true.
Been chasing it for 30 years.
That's true. Well, that's literally all on this episode of SmackDown that has anything to do with Taker. So he wrestles Bill DeMott, and Nathan Jones looks on. So nothing with A-Train, nothing with Big Show. Just that's it.
Things are very crammed on these episodes of SmackDown on the undercard, which Undertaker is definitely on this time. It's pretty crazy to think about here, but it is not one of the top SmackDown matches. Most of SmackDown's being devoted to stuff with Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan and Lesnar and Angle. But McMahon and Hogan is pretty much number one on these shows.
Yeah.
That takes us already. We're already here at the go-home for WrestleMania. Yeah, this is going to be one of our shorter episodes, which is not usually the case for these Mania episodes, but SmackDown 188, March 27th, 2003, the Colossus of Bago Road is going to make his in-ring debut against the full-blooded Italian, my boy Chuck Palumbo here.
That's right.
Man, he drew the short straw here going up against the Colossus of Bago Road, and this is actually surprisingly going to play in to WrestleMania and honestly, the next few weeks after Mania, too. We even get a vignette before the match of the FBI. Yeah, they were doing some really great pre-taped skits during this time with Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero, and this FBI one, not as good, but still pretty entertaining. They're playing off The Sopranos or whatever, doing some quote-unquote legitimate business and taking a guy out back and stealing his wallet and all this sort of stuff, or leaving him for dead or something here. And they're putting over the FBI as that type of faction. They were getting a lot of airtime here during this period, trying to get them over. Palumbo and Nunzio and Stamboli, a big faction.
The Bull, yeah, man. So, again, more new faces on SmackDown.
It was, And Taker is going to see Nathan Jones in the hallway before the match. And he's asking him, all right, man, are you ready for your big match? And Nathan says, what do you mean? I've already had it. And then Nathan Jones conveniently
I was there.
I'm working on my accent there, buddy. He opens up the locker room door, and we see Chuck Palumbo beaten down, just selling on the floor in there. And Undertaker just laughs it off and is like, well.
Okay. You do that? Okay, man. Listen, I guess we'll have your first match at WrestleMania. Listen, walk with me. I got to discuss what's good and what's bad about what you just did.
Yeah.
Chuck Palumbo probably got a big payday that night.
I hope so,
Look,
man.
we're going to give you $10,000 payoff.
To lay on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of first match WrestleMania, that's the same thing Ronda Rousey did, and look at the difference in their careers.
Exactly. It goes back to what we were talking about. But
and there was a tag team match, too.
That does not give you a lot of confidence, I would say, heading into WrestleMania if they're not even going to risk putting him on a taped television show against a pretty good competitor in Chuck Palumbo to even do like a 60-second match. Like, they didn't even want to put him in the ring to do his little spin kicks or whatever. That's not a great sign 6 days outside of WrestleMania.
No, by no means could we ever stretch that into that's a good sign. Yeah, that is a horrible sign that you are not ready for what you're about to get into. So, yeah, I just can't believe on a tape show they couldn't do something with him here. So, not a lot of confidence.
Well, they're still selling like this match is going to happen, and Show and A-Train are going to head to the ring for their match, and they run into Nathan Jones backstage and telling him, hey, man, we got no issues with you tonight. We're going to settle things at WrestleMania. And they do speculate, though, that all that time in prison gave Nathan Jones a new meaning to the phrase down under. And high five, and Big Show and A-Train are laughing about that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to take that comment.
It took me a minute to think about it, but just think about Nathan Jones.
I think I got it, yeah.
Okay, you got it?
I think I got it, but I don't want it to be that.
You can go back to Chuck Palumbo if you need to think about it some more. His old tag team. Anywho.
Dearly beloved.
Really. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Show and A-Train, they get a big tune-up, much bigger than Funaki and Tajiri, as they're going up against Benoit and Rhino tonight, and they have a really long match here. Solid matchup against each other, and finally ends with Nathan Jones interferes, trying to take out A-Train and Big Show, and they eventually beat him down, and leading to Undertaker running out, making the save, and easily taking care of Big Show and A-Train, which was like, great, why do I need to order WrestleMania to see this match? They've already handled their business.
The babyfaces have gone up on them every time they interact. And there's no point. There's no heat on them at all. They haven't gotten one up on the babyfaces at all, So, yeah, I mean, just going by wrestling booking, there's no reason to tune in. No. Except for you're going to get to see Taker WrestleMania, and that's the only allure of the match.
Why not, have the two giant professional wrestlers beat up the non-experienced guy and have Undertaker, have to make the save or something and put some doubt in their mind about what's going to happen here. Like, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't quite click, but none of this clicks here. And nothing clicked for Nathan Jones. But I did want to mention, I did look up some stuff on the house shows. He was actually performing on some of the house shows, so the writers, the creative team, whoever was in charge, they were getting some looks at Nathan Jones to see what he was able to do. The first match I could see him competing on was against Canyon out on the road, our boy. I don't know if he was dressed as Boy George at the time, but they did work. And man, if you can't get a good match with Canyon, there's not a lot of hope for you out there.
Yeah, you must not have a brain. He can wrestle with a broomstick and make it look good, so...
And they did do this WrestleMania tag team match a few times on the house shows, running through things, and I guess getting a very clear picture that it was not going to work at WrestleMania.
Not gonna do it. Not good stuff. So, yeah, they always say that Vince isn't at the house shows, but he gets the house show reports from all the producers or whatever. Yeah. Like Arn Anderson and Dean Malenko and well, they're not there anymore, but back then they were. But Fit Finley, and I guess they were just telling him, look, this guy he's the runs, man. Like, he's awful. So they must have just been like, look, I know you see this guy as something, but He's not, because he's going to lose his spot here as we go into Sunday Night Heat. As we're going to talk about Heat again. Was this the second show in a row?
Yeah.
Or maybe, get a little bit of Heat action here on March 30th. 03 gets us to lead in. It's exactly getting hot in there. Well, it's time to take a shower then. You need to cool off. So we're going to lead in WrestleMania 19. Nunzio, backstage, tells Nathan Jones that he's got his wallet, and Jones follows him into the bathroom, and then we hear some, cartoonish sounds and see Big Show and A-Train coming out of the shower. That's enough to scare me out of a match. These two behemoths ambush me in the shower. Talking about you down under. They emerge from the shower. We see Nathan Jones face down with a chair on his back and not moving. It looks like the guy from the bad guy in Saw, just laying in the middle of the shower, just face down. So, yeah.
I'm sure that's what they were inspired by. I mean, the Saw creators, they were inspired by this.
Probably. So we can only assume they took him out for the match tonight, so it's going to be 2-on-1. So, and then I did a little research on Something to Wrestle With episode with Bruce Pritchard, episode 92. They covered WrestleMania 19, and Conrad and Bruce talk about this match, and Pritchard says that decision was made to take him out of the match, he being Nathan Jones, to prevent the risk of him screwing up on the big stage. Basically, he said that they hadn't progressed like they hoped, and they figured let's focus on Taker and just have Jones hit a couple moves, which is literally what happens. So, like I said, I guess it just confirms what we were just talking about. So he just wasn't cutting the mustard.
Dude, Nunzio should have stolen Undertaker's wallet, man. We saw him with that fat stack of hundreds last week. He's giving out to Brian Kendrick. But, yeah, dude, that is wild. Like, first of all, they're usually so stubborn, the WWE. I can't believe they actually took this guy out of the match. Like, you cannot imagine how bad he had to be, because you could work around so much stuff in a tag match and just have him come in and do a couple spots. Yeah. And they do. I mean, he does come in and do a couple spots. So it's still crazy that they wouldn't even want to have him out on the apron or doing stuff.
Exactly.
I would think Undertaker had to have a say in that. He had to be like, there's no way you're going to embarrass me out there with this idiot tonight. Like, this is WrestleMania. This is my show. I'm not doing it. Like, he went along with it this whole time, but, I mean, he was out there doing these matches with this kid, and he had to have said, he had to put his foot down, man.
Right. I believe so. Again, we can't confirm that, but I believe that. It's probably what happened. We know, obviously, he had some issues with the DDP stuff, and they weren't clicking last year or 2 years ago, and that kind of happened, and so we know he's got some pull, but, I imagine he just said, hey, look, it's not happening with me, So,
well, the pay-per-view did happen, and we're going to talk about what exactly happened here as we cover WrestleMania 19.
Yeah, man.
March 30th, 2003, from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington. A great look, man. Covered baseball stadium. Very unique look. They don't run a lot of baseball stadiums. I guess they did a Royal Rumble this year, and I really like that look as well.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, great crowd.
I wish they'd go back here to Safeco. It'd be awesome.
I do too. It looked great. This is one that we did not watch together. We're going to watch a lot of the next ones together back in the past. I guess you had some sort of church thing or something going on, but I watched this one. I had a unique experience watching it live with one of our other friends by the name of Kevin that we used to roll with, and I watched it on WWE.com. So,
yes, y'all did.
10 years before the WWE Network came around, we streamed this, which is so weird to think about in 2003, but I guess it was cheaper than ordering the actual pay-per-view, but we watched it at Kevin's house and watched it on like Windows Media Player, I'm sure, and it was, for the time, I remember thinking the reception was pretty good. It got choppy a few times, and I think it was the SmackDown Triple Threat Tag Title match. I remember.
Great match.
It was, but I think it cut out like during most of that. But that was really the only time it happened. And I know it froze up a little bit when Brock was doing his shooting star press at the end to like midair. It kind of froze up for a few seconds, so I had to wait till the replays to see him like, what happened? Like, why is he? What is going on here? Unfortunately, I wish it had cut out a bit during this match, but not quite.
Yeah. Well, I I don't remember if when Kevin ordered it, if he got to replay like later on in the week or not. You know, I don't remember, but I remember the next day at school, you guys. I think you actually called me that night because I don't remember if I was at some church event or something. But I remember you guys telling me, you know, we didn't have text messaging back then. How funny is that? And so I don't remember.
But somehow we were streaming on the internet.
Yeah, isn't that weird? But I remember you guys telling me about it and then walking me through it. And I remember at school talking about it. But I remember watching part of it online. I don't know if it's at Kevin's house, but I remember seeing some of it before it came out on DVD. I don't know if maybe they put some clips online or something back then. Again, there's no YouTube either, so yeah. I remember seeing some clips of some of the matches before. Could have just been on one of those bubble sites that were pirate sites back then. But anyway.
You say Bago sites?
Pirate sites. Bago sites. Come on now, get the Bago site. So speaking of that, speaking of DVD, the best part of this WrestleMania 19 DVD isn't even the pay-per-view itself. It's the Easter egg, which I cannot find online.
I don't think it is, man.
I can't find it anywhere. So,
well, if you have the DVD,
those of you at home,
search it out. Yeah. I think it's on the second disc. I don't remember. I wish mine are at my parents' house. I was home this weekend. I was gonna grab it and try to find it on there, but there's an Easter egg on the Mania 19 DVD of Austin and Rock just BSing at Access. That's one of the funniest 5-minute clips you'll ever see of these two guys. Look it up. Look around. You can find how to access it, I'm sure. Yeah. Just click around on the menu. I think it's on disc 2 of the WrestleMania DVD. But
I used to just put this in just to laugh.
Yes.
Yeah. I would put it in, not even to watch the paper, just to laugh at them. I just shaved my butt. Just talks about shaving his butt. This is golly,
it's classic.
Hilarious. So good, man. But anyway, this pay-per-view is classic too. A lot of people would say, some people would say it's the second best Mania after 17. I don't know. I mean, days for me it is. Some days it's not. I don't know. But 17 is my favorite. This one sometimes my number 2. Sometimes it goes down a little bit. But I do love this pay-per-view as a whole.
I think it's pretty underrated. So. I think people sleep on it and forget about it, honestly. And really, besides the match we're covering, it's which is unfortunate. It's stacked, man. You can't. This is. I don't think you could argue this is the worst match on the card. But as we'll talk about, even it was not that bad. It was not as bad as I was thinking going into it.
And heck, there's a Miller Lite Catfight girl fight on this card. And this might be the worst match. That's pretty bad.
That's tragic. Also tragic is the theme song for this pay-per-view, literally called Crack Addict by Limp Bizkit. That is the actual theme song for a pay-per-view. Yeah. Things that would not fly in 2019.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But it worked.
Limp Bizkit or Crack Addict, yeah.
Great wrestling song.
Well, they're trying to recapture that magic they had with My Way and that Rock Austin, back in 2001. Now that we're here 2 years later, Rock and Austin going at it again for the last time. We got Limp Bizkit back there, Crack Addict. They try to do that, video package again, but it's not as good as the My Way one. But
it's still
Limp Bizkit's a good wrestling band.
They are, man. They're in the Hall of Fame of wrestling bands. You gotta say.
You got Kid Rock and
Creed, Flo Rida. They're in the WWE Hall of Fame of bands. Pitbull. Dude, Need to Breathe is in there. They love using Need to Breathe, man.
Yeah. So,
and, out of all of those, though, we do know that Limp Bizkit is the WWE's favorite band in the whole wide world. Because Tony Chimple tells us that.
And now, welcome the WWE's favorite band in the whole world. Was that pretty good?
Could you come up with a goofier way to introduce this band?
Yeah. That's about as stupid as a WrestleMania equivalent pay-per-view. Not to have in Jeddah. How stupid can you get? Well, this match is second on the card. Oh, Taker's match is second on the card. That's crazy, man.
That's insulting.
It's insulting. It's got to be. He probably backstage look, I'm second on the card. I'm not going out there with this moron and wrestling this match. I'm going to make it something. The crowd's going to get into it, and we're going to make it good. You're going to put me on second on the card. But is this the lowest he's been on the WrestleMania card?
It is, man. And just think of where we've been the past few years, where we had Ric Flair, we had Triple H, we had Big Boss Man Hell in a Cell. We'll scratch that one.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
that was like a semi-main event, even.
Yeah,
it was a huge storyline, at least. Kane, main event against Sid for the championship. Second main event with Diesel back there at Mania 12. Like the past 6-7 years, Undertaker's been top of the card, main event or second or third from the top against huge big name opponents. And then it's like, you can't be on top all the time. I get you got to cycle guys in and out, but this is brutal, man.
Yeah. And it comes after a hot opener, too, which is with Matt Hardy and version 1 and Rey Mysterio. What a great match to kick off the show. And then you got to follow it up with this match.
Honestly, dude, I wish they had just done Taker and Big Show again, or save that match from No Way Out and do it here. And they had a good match at No Way Out. Like, roll it back again. Like, seriously, anything would have been better than what we got.
Yeah. Do some kind of gimmicky, like no submissions don't count or something, like no legal chokes or something. They could have gone somewhere with it, but man, Vince had to push that A train, man.
And Nathan Jones too here, but at least we get a spectacle of an entrance here.
Oh yes, oh yeah, this is great. Like you said, we got Michael Cole and Taz on commentary. We got Tony Chimmel introducing the favorite band in the whole world, and then we get a live performance of Rollin'.
Yeah.
So Taker's going back in the archives of his music, and pulling out Rollin' here for his entrance, which is really neat, and it's really neat for his character. And I'm honestly some strange world I live in because I'd rather have Rollin' than his "You've Done It Now" be performed live. So yeah. Dude,
and it's a spectacle. They got dancers, they got pyro. Fred Durst is going all over the arena, out to the ring. It's all over the place, and it is a full performance. He goes through the whole song before Taker rolls out.
Yeah, he does, and they're bleeping stuff out, and he's flicking people off left and right like he's a heel. I don't know what's going on, but he loves it. I hate him, but he loves it. And, man, those poor girls that are dancers, they had to be gassed out of breath afterwards. And they danced for like 4.5 minutes straight. So,
I believe this is what inspired Fred Durst being included on one of the SmackDown games, too, and doing this performance as his entrance on there.
Yeah.
I love beating him up on whatever game that was.
He was always my opponent, for sure.
Taker's rolling out. He's got a little something extra as well. He's got this big American flag posted on the back of his bike, and he's got the pyro going on. And we're not Limp Bizkit fans, but like you mentioned, dude, this is just awesome to see. It really puts Undertaker huge. Even though it's second on the card, it's really great here as he gets to rev the bike up, going down the extra long WrestleMania ramp. And only thing missing was if he'd have gotten in the ring and just started busting out moves with Durst in the ring, just doing the little rolling. That would have taken it over the top.
Oh, that would have been hilarious, man. Hilarious. But like you said, man, he does get a lot of production. And we've mentioned that. I was thinking about our older episodes and how we talked about how his entrances evolved and how they got more production. He always got the different lighting and the different smoke and all that kind of stuff. And we've kind of gone away from that recently just because of his character change. But this is one where they definitely do shine a spotlight on him, and even though it's not, the creepy graveyard music and all the cool lights and thunder and stuff like he's going to eventually get, it is a big deal, and it is just for him, Like, I think they sing Crack Addict later on. I think Limp Bizkit does, but it's not for an entrance for somebody. It's just a performance. So this is Taker getting his own entrance, So it's really, really neat. So still showing how much of standing he has in the company, even though he's second on the card.
Absolutely, still makes him look like a big deal, and we do appreciate that. A-Train and Big Show, they can't compare to that. Even though Big Show does have a fresh wax job, man. He's got all that chest hair off. He's looking smooth.
He does.
He's got that WrestleMania look, man.
Oh man, a lot of people get new duds, like new gear, and Taker or Show just shaved his chest. Oh, anyway, well, yeah, the A Show come out and they get a combined entrance. You got Big Show's music and A-Train's steam-ish stuff that blows out. So They come down and A-Train starts messing with Taker's motorcycle, excuse me. Sorry, motorcycle, and he actually spits on it, which, you don't do that, We've seen how that doesn't fare well for those in the past.
It never does.
Done something. He might drag you around the Safeco field behind it. You'll watch out. But Big Show's going to sneak up from behind, down under, and try to take out Taker from behind here. So
he does, man, to start this handicap match. And I believe Tony Chimmel does announce it as this following handicap match is scheduled for one fall. So keep that in mind, folks. This match has been changed from a tag team match to a handicap match. Two men against one man. So keep that in mind as we go to the end here. But Big Show does jump in and start things off, and Undertaker is ready for him, man. He sends Big Show flying out of the ring, and then A-Train runs in and goes for a brogue kick, and Taker ducks that, hits an immediate choke slam on him, and I wish that had been the finish, but unfortunately Big Show pulls Undertaker out of the ring.
Yeah, he does. And commentary I think Taker's undefeated streak is in jeopardy here, which I understand you're trying, but you weren't fooling any of us at home. We knew he knew he was going to win. So I was even more sure he was going to win without the sandbag of charisma vacuum with him. If Nathan Jones would have been in this match, we could have said, maybe he could lose.
Right.
Nathan Jones takes the fall, but then you take him out of the match, you're like, dude, he's winning. It's a foregone conclusion. So, anyway, like I said, Taker's pummeling both guys, and then, and again, handicap match. This is one of those where you got to tag in and out, which I've never understood the point of that. But anyway. So A-Train tags in and Taker shoulder blocks him, and then he actually leapfrogs over A-Train, hits a hip toss, and then goes old school, which maybe he was just rejuvenated from all those training sessions with Nathan Jones. But anyway.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
I mean, Taker was looking good, dude. Like we mentioned it No Way Out, but he was in great shape here during this time.
Yeah.
He had some time off, and it was paying off.
Well, for sure.
Something else that we noticed, like we said, he had that big flag coming on the back of his bike. Michael Cole on commentary notes that Undertaker has a nephew fighting in Iraq during this time and has dedicated the match to him tonight. So another reason why Undertaker is not losing tonight.
Yeah.
They're pushing that hard.
Oh, yeah. Let's telegraph the ending here from far away. Yeah, absolutely. Well, A-Train hits a derailer, but he doesn't go for a cover. Instead, he throws Taker out of the ring, which I never understood the psychology of that. If you hit your finisher, why don't you go for a pinfall? But, not everybody's as smart as Taker is. So he's always going for those 3 counts, trying to get the pinfall.
Right.
So
that's why he's the legend.
Exactly. And Big Show posts Taker on the ring post and hits him back into the barricade, I guess, going back to this No Way Out match and trying to work on the lower back again,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then A-Train hits a decapitator, as Taz calls it, which is the one where he kind of leans him in between the middle and the bottom rope and kind of does like a slingshot backwards and hit your throat on the ropes there. So
it's a good move.
What a creepy name.
A little bit. So Undertaker's left vulnerable here, and Cole is even on commentary. He's doing a good job, man. He actually brings up Big Show putting Taker out of action back in October, so putting over the long story between these two guys, which I appreciate. It makes it feel more WrestleMania worthy here. And the heels are going to start trading off on abdominal stretches here on Undertaker. They do that.
Right as they're doing that, those switching back and forth in the ab stretches, there's the great sign in the crowd that says, "You are butt."
Who do you think they're talking to?
I think they're talking about Nathan Jones.
Oh, down under?
Whoops. They're saying, "You are butt." So, your butt. You're not a butt. You're just butt. So, it's great, man. But I do appreciate the heels doing the ab stretch because they're doing the old outsiders move, like the Hall and Nash, where they kind of assist each other with the extra leverage, which is always cool to see. So
it was cool, and Undertaker, he's doing his MMA stuff here. Big Show goes for a choke slam on him, and Undertaker reverses it into an arm bar. and then A-Train breaks it up, and the Undertaker throws this sweet little cross arm breaker onto A-Train. It looks really cool, man. You can tell he's been working on his stuff, and we put that over on last week's show, how Undertaker's 13-year vet in the WWE at this point is still adding to his moveset, which you just don't see these days.
Nope, you don't see, and you hardly ever see it nowadays either. So yeah, it's later on after this, after the abdominal stretch stuff, we get a back suplex from Taker, and then he clotheslines A-Train, A-Train clotheslines him and gets 2 count. He's like, "You ain't such a big bad dog." Starts slapping Taker and punches him, which again, you just don't do that, man. You don't slap Taker around. You don't tug on Superman's cape, spit in the wind, or slap the Undertaker or his motorcycle. So anyway.
Well, Undertaker's not Superman, but he's acting like Muhammad Ali out here. He's ducking and dodging and diving A-Train's punches and moving all around. You can tell this is what he's been training in, this boxing MMA stuff.
Yeah.
And he loves showing it off here. Hits his big DDT, and Cole notes that Undertaker's been working on that catchphrase of his, "Shut up and fight." And that's the way A-Train, he didn't shut up, man. And that's why it's gonna backfire on this big idiot.
Exactly.
I hate A-Train, man.
I know you do.
Stupid nipple rings. You can't take it. Like, God dang it.
I was a big Van Hammer fan, though. He had nipple rings. I'm just kidding. Nobody's a big Van Hammer fan.
He's a big fan of making fun of him.
Exactly.
Not taking him seriously.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Taker's had enough of all this nonsense, and because after that running DDT, Big Show breaks up the pinfall there, and Taker's had enough, and he starts wailing away on Big Show and does that running back and forth in between the turn. He has both of them on opposite turnbuckles. Oh, yeah. And he's just running back and forth, running real a train on them, dude. Just real back and forth, slam, 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 back and forth. And then he goozles the Big Show, and then as he has him by the throat, A-Train runs at him, and he big boots A-Train, hits a running dive and clothesline the Big Show. He's just a house of fire right here, man, just getting it and going. And again, he is making something out of this nothing, man. Like, he's trying. And the crowd's getting into it. You know, second match on the cards, they're still hot, you know. Still hot for, you know, what's going on. So
he's not going to go out there and put on a stinker, man. He's going to put his all into it, no matter what kind of chicken crap he's been given. He's going to try to make chicken salad out of it here. As A-Train tries to run over Taker with the brogue kick to take him down, and Big Show goes for a choke slam, but he's going to leave the ring to go take out the Colossus of Bago Road running down the road here, which the camera and the video crew completely miss. Man, he runs down the aisle, and we see all the crowd standing up, and I don't know if he missed his cue or what happened here, but we don't know what's going on until these two guys are already fighting out in the aisleway. Totally missed shot.
Oh, yeah. Bad production there. But the crowd, you can tell something's happening because the crowd's popping. They're actually popping for this dude running out. And I don't know if they're popping for Nathan Jones. They're just popping for
something.
Some action. Yeah, something else happening. So
because they don't even light it up, really. They're like in the dark.
Right. Yeah, it was strange production snafu there, but it's rare they do that. But it's you know, like I said, the crowd sold it. They were popping for it, and like I said, Show goes to meet him, and he gets hit with a spin kick, and then Nathan Jones gets in the ring.
Yes.
And this is where you will pay attention to what you said earlier. So go ahead.
A-Train, like you said, he gets a 2 count on Undertaker, and Nathan Jones hops into the ring right in front of the referee. Again, this is no longer a tag team match. This is a handicap match, meaning it's supposed to be 2-on-1, which I would think would mean if someone were to interfere and jump in the ring and get physically involved on the Undertaker's behalf, that should probably be a disqualification.
Sure.
For the Undertaker.
Absolutely.
But Nathan Jones hits his big boot on A-Train and knocks him down right in front of the referee. And the ref's just like, okay, cool, I'll allow it.
Yeah. He does.
That just infuriated me, man.
Yeah, you know, we've always talked about how we're sticklers for the rules and trying to, you know, just consistency at least with among the rules. You can make whatever rules you want to, just be consistent with them, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, they really didn't, because if Chimmel hadn't announced that it was definitely a handicap match and would just said it's a tag team match, this wouldn't have bothered me. But yeah, you're right, because they said it's specifically a handicap match, it bothers me.
I would have even been okay if like Nathan Jones had hopped up on the apron and reached out for a tag,
Right.
And Taker would have tagged him in, and like they would have said,
Done
"Oh,
the
okay."
same spots.
Yeah, like even that sort of little explanation or something, but just to have him run in when you've already said it's a handicap match and be like, whatever. That's one of those things that the writers would call us marks for pointing out, but it's annoying. It's like you have to have these rules for us to suspend our disbelief, and when you just throw them out the window, like they do with the wild card rule these days, it just pisses you off as a fan. Like, why do I even bother paying attention?
Yeah. Why am I invested in paying attention if you're going to not make it make sense? So, anyway.
I can't believe I'm letting Nathan Jones upset me this much.
It's really grinding your gears tonight.
Wasting my time.
Well, we're about to wrap this up here quickly because he's going to get in the ring and lead to the finish because they're like, this guy can't last very long. We're gonna have
That's
to
all he can do, man.
We have to go home quick. So, like you said, he gets in the ring. Like you said, Taker Irish whips him. Irish whips A-Train right into that big boot from Nathan Jones, like you mentioned a minute ago. And then Taker just gets A-Train up with a big tombstone. I mean, a big one.
He almost sends A-Train home to his maker. Man.
Exactly.
Nearly drops it.
So, yeah, it's a big tombstone, and that gets the cover at 9 minutes and 42 seconds to take The Undertaker to 11-0 at WrestleMania.
With the tombstone time call! Pile driver connects! The Undertaker remains undefeated at WrestleMania! Undertaker! The student helps the teacher!
That's right, man. The streak continues, and the announcers note it as they continuing to become bigger and bigger deal and bigger part of Undertaker's career. And it's cool. He busts out the tombstone. That's starting to become a WrestleMania tradition, I guess, even though it's a lot more rare in these days. Even though we did see him do it on Bill Demott, but he's done it at all 3 WrestleManias that he's been the biker. So that's pretty neat. But he didn't really do it that much during this time.
Right. That's cool. Well, he's going to go and get his Team America on and grab that huge American flag he's got, wave it around again. And he just, in my opinion, in his celebration here, completely ignored Nathan Jones' existence. I didn't see him acknowledge him, nod at him, give him anything at all. Like, Nathan Jones just stands there in the corner like he's a tough enough student waiting for his teacher.
That's not your opinion. That's what happened, man.
Okay, that's what it looked like to me.
He blows right by him. He doesn't shake his hand. He doesn't raise his hand. Nathan, like you said, he just stands in the corner and Undertaker celebrates and the camera focuses on him. And I don't know if that's something he specifically wanted, but that's what they do here.
Yeah, so it's what an embarrassment. Kind of, but like I said, the crowd is into it. They like Taker's offense because it's Taker. If this has been anybody else, this match would have been a dud probably. It is what it is. It's a blemish on the streak. This and the Mr. Hardbody, Goodbody, Slim Goodbody match.
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, Goodbody, are my two turds in the streak. So
what about Hell in a Cell with Big Show? Is that one not as bad as these? You think?
Big Boss Man?
Yeah, Big Boss Man. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get all my bangs confused.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Those are top 3 worst of all time in the streak.
What's the worst though? What would you say?
I might need a week to think about that. I don't know. Let's see. The worst
might be our next poll question.
All right. Here we go. Ready? Top of my head. Worst, Giant Gonzalez. I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say this next. I'd say Hell in a Cell 3rd worst. That's my top 3 worst.
As far as God, I don't know, man. This match itself is not that bad, but it's the storyline and Nathan Jones coming at the end that just drops it down the toilet, So yeah, the Giant Gonzalez one was bad all around.
And it ends with ether, dude. It ends with not even a pinfall. You know what I'm saying? Like
Big Boss Man ends with a hanging.
That's fine. It's got Edge and Christian in it. It's a cell. It's a cool spectacle.
And it's got Michael Cole talking about, their fingers might get stuck in the wires of the cell. Oh, that one. That one might be number 2 worst for me, and this one might be number 3. But just as far as having to even share the ring with Nathan Jones has got to be the most embarrassing thing Taker's had to do at WrestleMania
ever.
Much more so than sharing the ring with Fred Durst, even. 10 minutes
Isn't that
before
bad?
this.
Oh, that's sad.
We try to put a positive spin on stuff on this
Yeah.
show, but this is just a failure. It's a completely failed experiment here with The Undertaker, and that's rare with The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Although we have covered a few, especially his time with Sarah, and a lot of the Ministry and Darkness stuff, and some of the stuff in the earlier days, but just a rare misfire on every level here with Nathan Jones, even though Undertaker tried to do his best with it.
Yeah, again, no fault to his at all. He's trying, but it was just a bad batch.
It is.
He got served. So.
It shows you can only do so much on your own here. That's the lesson to
Yeah.
learn here from this one. But thank God we're done here, folks, and we want to hear your opinion straight from Bago Road. You think we could do a Old Town Road parody with Bago Road? You think that would get over?
It's not worth our time.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's move on past Nathan Jones and never, ever bring it up again.
Anyone else out there, you're welcome to try it out, though. But we do want to hear your thoughts. We always ask for them, and we certainly got a few from you this week over on the Twitter. We heard from Philip Goad, said, "This is the second most offensive thing on this show, and considering number one, that's pretty impressive." I'm assuming he's talking about Triple H and Booker T, but maybe he's talking about
the Miller Lite
Cat fight or Fred Durst in general. I don't know. Let us know what you're saying exactly, Philip. We heard from Take the Bump podcast at Take the Bump Pod that said, "I forgot Nathan Jones existed. I wish I was that lucky."
Retweet.
We had a few of you talking about Nathan Jones' movie roles, which he went on to have more success than he did here in wrestling. He was in Mad Max Fury Road. He was in the movie Troy, and he does pop up a little bit later on in the year in WWE and does a few things, has a few matches, and we're going to see him here talk about it a little bit on next week's show, but he's not going to be long for the professional wrestling world. He's going to spend more time in Hollywood. Our boy Randy Turco talked about the highlight for him was Limp Bizkit playing Into the Ring, and it was all downhill from there. And brought up the urban legend that Nathan Jones once did so many voids that he actually lactated from his chest, which I do remember reading back in the day. Thank God I never saw a picture of that.
Phew.
Perplex the God on Twitter, he says, "I think Vince started to hate the Biker Taker character by this point and was punishing him with this match to try to make him return to the Dead Man," which is quite the theory there. I'm not going to say it's totally wrong.
Those promos back at Royal Rumble were like, the Dead Man returns.
That's right.
Oh.
Well, we love hearing from you on social media at Talking Taker, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Hit us up over there, and we do have a little bit of housekeeping from last week's episode I wanted to touch on here before we talk about next week's show. But
Housekeeping.
Yeah, come on in. We're going to bring it in here. We did a poll last week asking you what your favorite gift from the Big Show was. He brought so many great presents to The Undertaker last week. He brought Brother Love, he brought Kenyon singing Boy George, he brought Brian Kendrick singing a song, and he brought a beautiful puppy. And with 33% of the vote, unbelievably, you guys said you thought the puppy was the greatest gift from Big Show. I think Jerry Lawler must have got confused and voted on our poll. Yeah, that's the only way to explain this. That was not the best gift, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Who
Who
better than Kenyon?
Exactly. Or Kendrick.
Or Kendrick.
Or Brother Love. Oh, the puppy's cute and all, but that was not the best gift. For
Rare
sure.
misfire.
He gave
there,
it away.
creatures.
He gave it away. He interacted with the other three. He gave that one away. It was his least favorite.
Also want to shout out, you said you knew one of our creatures out there had to have this Undertaker magazine. We talked about this 2003 collector's issue, and Randy Turco, man, our time-traveling correspondent, he dug it out of the attic here, and I can't recommend enough checking out this thread over on our Twitter at Talking Taker. Scroll down a little bit, we retweeted it over there, or go to his Twitter at Pokey's Little Dog. Give him a follow. It really is some incredible never before seen pictures.
Yeah.
Just developed pictures of
The dark room.
Undertaker as a kid, Undertaker in college, Undertaker before WWE. Some great statistics and facts about the Undertaker. Some pictures of him with his dogs. I don't think that dog Big Show gave him would have fit in with his giant pit bulls out there that he's got.
Yeah.
That
picture, dude, where he looks like he's auditioning for the role of Ghost Rider, where he's got like all leather on, like chains, and, like he looks like he's trying out, which he probably done a better job than Nicolas Cage did. But anyway, it's out of control, man.
I would pay good money to see Undertaker reprise the role of Ghost Rider in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bring it on, man. I'll take it.
Exactly.
Gladly.
Well,
he could have jump-started that years and years before if they would have gone with him instead of Nick Cage.
Question. Yeah, he could have, absolutely. So would have been fantastic. But I just want to say that is exactly who I wanted to come through with us last week with Randy Turco. I had this inclination that he would have that somewhere in his Taker catalog that he has. And I think he said he even got back from vacation late and then immediately looked through his
That's our man.
college stuff. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
We thank you for all the support.
And somebody else
fandom,
said something
Randy.
About, I was gonna say J-Bag said something to us on there about he's got something up his sleeve for us, hasn't he?
That was the next thing I was gonna go to, man. Jeremy Bagley, we also appreciate all your support, and we can't wait to hear about your interaction with the Undertaker very, very soon. Could be as soon as next week. I believe we should hear something back from you. We're excited about that. We will talk a little bit next week. It could be going on right now as you're listening to this, or it could have already happened by the time you're listening to this, depending on when you download it. But Undertaker is going to be competing for the first time in 2019 over in Saudi Arabia, which is questionable and unfortunate and has all the baggage attached to it. But it's something. It's going to be a spectacle as he goes up against Goldberg for the very first time ever. Any quick predictions from you, Travis?
It looks like you're going to cheer for Goldberg. You get the Goldberg shirt on tonight. The man.
I just wanted to wear my Goldberg. I got this shirt. Did you give this to me? It's from like a Goodwill or something.
Yeah,
it's not an official shirt.
Yeah.
But
that's one from. I think you got that from Earl Hebner before he got fired.
It does. Very bootleg shirt. They might have sold it to me. I wanted to give him a little bit of support because I don't think he's going to survive this matchup against Undertaker. You think he's going to rest in peace here?
I think he's going to rest in peace, and that's just fine. He can do the old JOB for the Taker over there in Jeddah. So, I'm excited. I think Taker's going to do it. It's going to be just a big old, high spot, big finisher, kick out finisher, 5 minute. I think their entrances will be longer than the match itself.
I hope so. If they're not, then something's wrong with that match.
Yeah. So,
we'll talk about that a little bit next week, and then of course cover it in depth somewhere down the road. If anything really interesting happens, maybe we'll do a little breaking news update over on our YouTube or something like that. And just one last shout out I want to give here. We are coming up soon on our 100th episode. We'll get to episode 96 next week and cover the rise of and the very first matchup on pay-per-view between John Cena and The Undertaker at Vengeance 2003. We're going to take a big time jump there and cover a lot of ground as we cover that one. A pretty cool one to cover historically. I know a lot of people are excited to get to that one. But as we come into episode 100, as we get to the next era of Undertaker, I just want to put the invitation out. If anyone out there has any graphic design skills or knows any other wrestling fans who might want to help us design a new logo for the podcast, I would love to talk with you about that and see about setting something up. I've designed the last few, and I've got some ideas for this one, but would love some help with it. I'm not a professional designer by any means, don't have a lot of experience with it, but just throwing that out there to you creatures of the night. Hit me up, hit us with the DM, and we'll talk about working something out with you, working out some sort of deal with you. Just love to talk to you about that as we keep rolling on to the last ride.
Absolutely. And we are just, again, thank you guys for listening and paying attention and just being along for the ride for all of this. So if you were there at Safeco Field in Seattle, If you were there wearing Brian Kendrick's sweater from last week, please let us know.
Please let us know.
Yeah, because you'd have fit right in here in Seattle. So, man, I posted pictures of that thing because it was just a beauty. And you can't find that thing on anywhere online. I had to go watch the network and screenshot it, dude, when I put that on Facebook. So I did some see, we do our research here. We put a lot of effort in this for you guys. So no, I'm just kidding. But anyway,
I would bet
seriously.
money that's still in Brian Kendrick's closet.
Oh, if not, it's in Brian Danielson's closet. You know he has it. They might both have it. So, anyway, sorry, Daniel Bryan, whatever his name is. I haven't seen him in a while on TV. But anyway, yeah, if you were there at Safeco Field, let us know how you felt about Taker being on second on the card. So, what you thought about the entrance, if that was better than the match itself. But anyway, just let us know your thoughts. And anyway, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, until next week, take her easy.
There's a 436-pound differential between these two teams.
That's like getting hit in the chest with a rock.